Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Unfinished Business Podcast. We're at number 60 something or other. We also don't have 65, 64.
Yes, sir. 65.
It says 65.
See? You guys can't figure this out.
It's 65. I updated it today because it was
all right.
64
Episode 65 live. Welcome back. We have Mac Givens. He's filling in for Taylor. It's Taylor's birthday today. And he is out.
Go on our Discord and tell him happy birthday.
Yeah, he's out to eat dinner with his fiance and some other people, and so he can't be here. So we have Mac, not as good of an option, but it's still a filler. Today we're going to be talking about Music City Open. We're going to be talking about that really big, expensive course that has the dinosaurs for some reason, and we're kind of just chilling today.
It's a chill episode. Now that the ball and chain is gone.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is that giant tub of discs behind Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler was peer pressured into cleaning his room before the recording.
Yeah. I've never seen someone Tyler's age.
I'm just tired of everyone talking about my dang room.
I've also never seen anyone own one of those things that you stand on and you do the twisties.
All right, you got me. Hold on.
That's crazy.
I wish I had a way to quickly make Tyler full screen, but I can't.
Ooh.
Oh.
Dude,
mess it up.
I can see the abs.
It was like a fad back in the day.
I know. I've seen it in every store. I've just never seen one in someone's house.
That is such a funny.
Well, my wife wanted it, so I bought it, and of course, it made its way down.
I wonder
here.
how good that would be to have like a zip line, and then you hang it over, and then you just zip down into a pool.
The girl does it in Moana. She shoots the arrow at the boat, and then she takes the oar and goes.
Yeah, but that thing looks like it's
hard that is.
Perfectly shaped. Yeah.
Is that Moana 1 or 2? Okay,
buddy, I didn't even know there was
I
didn't even know there was a
She jumps off the coconut chip
I haven't
or
seen
whatever.
it. I was gonna call spoilers.
So I have a question. What is that course called? That really expensive one?
Eagles Crossing.
Eagles Crossing. Okay. So are you a fan of the white posts everywhere? Because I am not. I don't I understand that it's lining the fairways, but with such an open area, especially on hole 1, it kind of just looks cluttered.
I think there's too many posts is the problem. I like the post. I like that there's permanent out of bounds, artificially, but I agree. It looks like there's just a lot going on, especially hole 1, where it's downhill. You can see everything, and it's okay. It's not I'm throwing in this grass area. It's throw between the sea of white posts. So yeah, not a fan.
Let me ask this question. If they're already cutting the whole course, what if just all out of bounds they cut, half as frequently in a month and remove half the out of bounds posts? And then just the out of bounds grass is going to be, 4 inches higher most of the time.
All right, so here is my secret idea that I'm going to reveal to the world on stream for out of bounds lines. So you have a post, right? And inside the post, you have a spool of wire with a hook on it. And so you can unspool it and hook it to another post so that you get the OB line if it's close. Otherwise, you can just have a post.
That. But how many do you have?
How far can you make the line? I don't know.
No, I'm saying how far is the gap between posts?
Let's say 20 feet. I don't know.
Okay. Because
less is more, I think.
If it's too far, it you can't curve the OB line because it would just go straight across.
Yeah.
But then if you have too many, there's no point.
Yeah. Spencer, I think curving, they're stringing the OB just adds to this problem we're saying where on this course, there's just a ton of white stakes. And now instead of just white stakes, there's white stakes and white lines going everywhere. And it's
yeah.
So my idea is kind of like Matt's, but it's also, this is going to be a little harder because it's a lot of land manufacturing. But why don't we have like a drop-off point to where it dips down maybe like 5 inches, and then they don't cut the grass, so it looks like it's level or even just lower. But that way, if your disc actually falls off AOB, you can tell, as opposed to like, oh, this line, this painted grass could possibly be on one side or the other. Your disc is actually going to be like either like this or it's going to be down here. And if it's down here, it's clearly OB.
So you're saying like raise the entire fairway by like 4 inches?
I'll do you one even easier. Lower the OB so we don't have to raise the fairway.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
Because you could also, well, I mean, if they're spending millions of dollars at this Eagles Crossing place,
that's a lot of time on a backhoe or a dozer or whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that there's as much OB as there is. I like that it plays into a more permanent design. It gets really cluttered though once you get into those middle holes where like with like the lake, for instance, right? Because you have like 3 or 4 holes around it, and you can see the posts for other holes with OB, and it's just confusing.
Do we need like color coded, like every 3rd or 4th hole is a different color kind of thing?
Maybe. But then it kind of looks like a circus. I don't know.
Well, no, it could still be white posts, but maybe the top like 3 inches is like blue and then yellow and then orange and then blue and then yellow and then orange. That way, or whatever colors, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But like that way you can see and be like, okay, I'm on the blue fairway. I don't have to look at any other color. It's just the blue tip fairway.
Yeah, I mean that could
work.
be an option. What were you gonna say, Matt?
No, I was gonna say the same. I watched like 3 or 4 pros throw a hole, and they went over 3 lines of white stakes, and I was like, "So are you in?" And then you wait for the pro to go like, "That's actually a great shot," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess it is a great shot," but you can't tell from that.
Yeah.
So far, the only great shot that I saw was Kel Longquist getting a freaking ace on that par 4
at KC Wide Open at the practice round of that par 4 5.
Oh, that was KC Wide Open.
Yeah, 565.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was one of the.
It's the one who looks like the closest to Eagles Crossing. So I think
that's I think it's because of the rocks and stuff. I thought it was the same thing.
But that's crazy.
The best shot at Eagles Crossing is definitely the Stokely from a knee, forehand through the tiniest gap in existence.
I barely remember that shot. I do remember seeing it.
It was from the Big Skins match. It was like 2 years ago, so it doesn't.
I feel like I've been described this shot more than I've actually seen the footage of this shot.
You should watch it.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go back and watch it.
But yeah, Eagles Crossing, I feel like I have to play it. Watching it though, it kind of just looks like a jumbled mess. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I 100% agree with you. And then I looked up pricing on Eagles Crossing, and I understand that, it's an expensive property, but it is so expensive to play that course or stay on that course. And it's like
$40 a round.
Yeah, I'm trying to have the exact number here. Of course, it doesn't want to load up, but it's really expensive. And if you want to stay at the place, it's like $140 per person per night or something insane
per
like
person.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. I said, what the heck? And same deal.
They're not even doing it by room. They're doing it per person.
They're doing it per person, bro. Greens fees are $40. Yeah.
The guy knocks and he's like, head count.
Per round for a golf cart, it's $65.
Oh God,
that's more than most golf courses.
Yeah, I could go play a full round of golf for less than that.
If you just want to go but not play disc golf,
first off,
it's $15.
Why would you?
You go middle of nowhere.
I want to know why the
minimum
maintenance is so
cabin
expensive.
prices,
The reason why I pay $60 to go play golf is because I'm tearing up turf every time on every single hole. I got to fix it. I don't understand why you got to pay so much for disc golf. You don't tear anything.
Have like
I'm just going to use this property.
This place.
Yeah, he's trying to recoup,
That's his own
which
fault.
is not the best business
Yeah,
model.
yeah. If you want to stay there, it's $285 per night plus $35 for each person. That's the cheapest place they have.
What you do is you make it so cheap and accessible for people, and then all of a sudden, when it becomes you're too booked, you got to raise the prices. Well, he's trying to recoup by just setting a price, thinking people want to play that course.
I wonder if he
set
sometimes as full to make it artificially look like, oh yeah, dude, people are here all the time. I have to raise my prices.
Yeah, that's a good point, Spencer. I wonder if there's a package where you can just pay for 3 days, you stay there, and you get unlimited disc golf, because they have 3 courses now, I think. Which if you had a 3-night thing and it was all right, $400 flat, you're done, it's all inclusive, I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
you get 3
across
days, 3 courses,
everyone, or
I guess it would be individually.
You kind of,
and you get all the amenities.
I'm not paying $400 now.
I mean, it's still steep, don't get me wrong, but if you're going to go disc golf destination style, I mean, you can't be charging $65 a round.
No.
Yeah.
If you want to use a golf cart, which it looks like you kind of have to.
Do you need to use a golf cart?
No, well, you could use a Polaris 900 if you wanted. It's $275. And it holds 6 people.
That sounds pretty fun, though.
It does sound pretty fun. Yeah.
That's why they need the their greenkeepers, is for the people tearing it up in the Polaris doing donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the most expensive you would pay for a course? Say with a golf cart.
I mean, 50 is pushing it.
50 is definitely pushing it.
That's top of the top. If you gave me Crocole or MVP and you were here's a golf cart, not that MVP needs it, but here's a golf cart.
Why do you need a golf cart? It's not even long.
I'm trying to figure out a way to raise the price to be justified.
Disc golf is so fun in a golf cart.
I'm not paying any golf cart for any. No, I'm not paying golf.
So there are.
What if disc golf course? I walk actual golf courses that are
okay.
5 miles
What if in between the basket and the next tee pad is one of those airport flat escalator walk path things?
Now that would
every single hole.
Yep.
If I had to rent a golf cart, right? The most I'm paying is $30.
Well, the only thing I could think of is if you wanted to make a course that needed a golf cart, so you would play a hole and then there would be a decent amount of walk in between that hole and the next one. That way each hole is a signature hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have it on a giant property and be okay, the next one is a 10-minute walk, or you have a golf cart.
That's what I was gonna say, is depending on your property, if you just have a ton of open space, it's not really feasible for you to have reasonable walking distances to make a good course. So I've helped design a course on 9 holes of a golf course, and there's not that many trees on it, but there's water and there were dunes on it. So you had to make it kind of far away. You kind of needed a golf cart. I mean, you could go walk. It would just take you 3 hours to do it. And disc golfers, to be honest, don't have that much of an attention span.
A golf cart would be.
The appealing part of disc golf is that I can do it in an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, I think the flight of the disc is the appealing thing, but
I mean, sure. I mean, yeah.
I played a course.
If I'm going to decide if I'm going to pay not even that, $20 for disc golf or $65 for golf, and I'm going to, I'm also going to think about how much time do I have, blah, blah. I don't mind spending $65 to go play a good golf course. So for me, it all comes down to time. All right, cool. So I don't want to spend 5 hours, 6 hours on a course. So I'm going to go play disc golf and, get my enjoyment of playing golf for 2 hours.
It does kind of defeat the purpose, right? Like the appeal is that it's cheap and quick. So I don't know.
I gotta find it.
That's my biggest thing too.
I played a course that Mac will drive by coming to his event in August here that was on a golf course, and you wanted a golf cart, or it was nice to have a golf cart. Golf cart was $6.
Yeah.
And you already paid $5 for a fee to be on the course. So of course you took the golf cart. But that was like, even then I was like, I don't know. That was one course that you really didn't need a golf cart on. And it wasn't even because the holes were great. It was just because there was so much elevation that you had to drive, a 3-minute golf cart drive to get to the next tee pad.
Yeah, maybe it's just because I have a golf background, but I don't understand why disc golfers go crazy when they offer a golf cart.
I thought you were going to say maybe it's because I have a golf cart.
Yeah, I was like, what is he doing with the golf cart?
I don't know. I mean, could you imagine? Okay, picture this. Picture this. You're throwing over a quarry to the other side.
Over a quarry?
Yeah.
You're just standing there or what?
I'm just kind of like this.
Okay.
You're throwing over a quarry. You get in a golf cart. You're driving to the other side of the quarry where the basket is, and then out of nowhere you turn a corner and you're driving like through or under a waterfall that is going into the quarry. Golf cart's worth it.
You could just walk it though.
No,
this path is golf carts only.
You can't. Yeah, you can't walk it. Not possible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little silly. I obviously want to play it one day for the experience. I think it'd be a fun course to play, but from a coverage standpoint and from an interest standpoint, I don't think it's the future, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
I agree.
I'm not saying it's the future. I don't want it to be. I'm just saying there could be a reason to have it.
Yeah, I think it has a place that in existence.
Yeah.
I think it's good that it's there. I don't know that I'll be taking a full weekend trip there.
Oh no.
Maybe that's
I'm just talking in general. Like a golf cart is like there's a place for it. Because like, okay, I don't know if you guys do this, but what I'm doing like road trips and stuff, I'm looking on the side of the road while I'm driving, and I'm like, oh my god, that would be a perfect hole.
Do that.
Like, but only one hole.
Yeah.
Well, how would you get there, and how would you get to the next hole that's like
right
a quarter mile down? You'd have to have something like a golf cart or a jetpack, I guess. But yeah,
can you imagine? Could you imagine karting toboggan?
That would be intense going down the hills.
People do it all the time.
Turn the governors off, baby. We're rolling.
Well, the what do you call the guy that's looking out for all the rule breakers?
Marshal.
Yeah, the marshal's flying through there with a golf cart. So,
dude, I used to work at a golf course as a side tangent. And we had one of the demo carts, and it didn't have a governor on it. And this course I worked at had giant.
Hold on, I'm interrupting you. Did you see Spencer's thoughts on zip lines to the tee pad to the green from the tee pad?
Okay, that's fire.
Yes,
bro. Until
I'm
you
scared some disc golfers don't have the grip strength for that.
Okay, that is true, but it's fire It's fire until you never get to see one, and you have to watch all your homies zip line down while you walk down the fairway to get to your disc.
I mean, have you seen the videos of like the guys on those courses on top of mountains, and they just like shank one into a highway?
Yeah, and you're like,
well, that's $20 gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Mac. What were you saying? No governors on the golf cart.
Yeah, we had this one demo cart that didn't have a governor on it, and this course had to get down to the cart shed was just straight like 45-degree angle hill going down, and then the cart shed had like that smooth pavement where there's not a lot of friction. So when everyone's gone, you do a little trash run, you go throw it in the dumpster, and then you would full speed send it down the hill. And when you hit the slick pavement, you would slam the brakes and do spinning donuts. And it was covered, so it was the loudest shriek you could possibly imagine. But there was just like tire tracks coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does the boss
thing.
come in and be like, "Hey, what's with all these tire tracks?"
You know, he never asked. I'm sure he knew that.
He knew.
He was also a kart guy, so he probably did it himself.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah, Eagles Crossing. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Who won that tournament?
I think I agree. AB.
AB. He shot 7 down the last day, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Who was in like the lead card?
I think Gannon, Gavin Rathbun, I think came second, which is kind of fun. Haven't seen him this season yet.
Yep.
Prodigy
guy.
The way he popped out last year.
That's not me.
He's been like hurt for the last 2 or 3 seasons, I think, but he's kind of disgusting.
Who is doing that?
Yeah.
Corey.
What do you mean?
It was Corey. Kill him.
That's not me.
No, it's Matt.
What's that?
How is it me? I'm not even touching anything.
Whatever Matt was. Yeah, whatever you were doing was making the boing, boing, boing sound.
I'm literally trying to replicate it. All right, it's not Corey. My bad. My bad.
Dude, Tyler's going crazy.
Yeah, Tyler's going crazy.
No.
It's because you have so many acoustics now that your room's clean.
Yeah, your room's so clean that you have crazy acoustics. It's wild. He can hear himself thinking there now.
What's the next tournament?
Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how is Taylor going to put picks in for this? We're going to have to do this off air.
We're going to have to do it. Yeah, we're going to do it off air. And
yo.
Wait, what is Taylor winning right now?
Taylor. Yeah, because he jumped because of he got like a 5-point week or 4-point week or something like that.
I can pick for Taylor.
You're going to pick for Taylor?
All right, so what's the biggest thing about Kansas? That would be funny. I think Taylor would be totally.
If you want to, I'll do it.
I think
you
should
pick for
just run it
Taylor.
And see what Taylor says. I think he'll agree to it. Yeah,
that works.
He'll agree to it. We'll do it at some point. What is the biggest thing about the course for Kansas City wide open? I don't know.
The only thing I remember is Gannon breaking it, and they had to add a Mando because of him.
Yeah, and now they made that hole harder. It was a par 5. They did not change anything, added a Mando, added more OB, and made it a par 4.
Oh, cool.
So
I do remember comments. I remember comments of people saying that there was apparently one hole that's super tight, and so people were throwing forehand rollers off the tee. And I remember comments of people saying, like, I love this. I want to see guys throwing forehand rollers off the tee more often.
Yeah.
And couldn't disagree with that anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we really want to see?
Oh, really?
That's like so putt-putt gimmicky to me. If that's the play, if it's your play, that's fine. But if your hole is so tight that it's like, I'm just going to send a roller.
So you don't like the
hope,
Foz?
then like, it's my favorite course in Detroit.
There's a hole where it is literally like shaped like a candy cane. And the only way that we could get to the basket is Mac actually threw a forehand roller.
It was sick too.
But, he hates it.
How tight should the hole be, Mac?
I don't know.
This feels like a bait.
Yeah, I don't know what Ryan is curious about versus not. I don't know.
The one ever showed up to school and it was science fair day and you didn't bring your science fair project? That's how tight.
It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. I don't know. There's somewhere between a 5-foot gap 200 feet down the fairway and a 20-foot gap right in front of you. That's my answer. For what?
I know Gannon's still
aiming.
aiming. Yeah. Gannon's still aiming for a backhand cut roller on one hole, by the way. I think the same hole you were talking about. He threw like 4 air shots in this practice
Is
round,
it like,
and then he threw 3 cut rollers with putters, and they went.
Is
better.
it open? Is it wooded? Like, what kind of course is it?
Tweener, bro. A little bit of everything.
I do nothing.
I think they have some bomber holes and then some like very wooded. Maybe similar to like Open in Austin vibes a little bit.
I would say so. Yep. There's certainly some longer holes.
Kind of like golf course stylish.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then Drew Gibson won it last year, but it was a Silver Series or whatever.
Q Series.
Q Series? Okay.
Yeah, Q Series.
Also, how confusing is it that Silver Series does still exist, but only in Europe?
I don't know. I think they're calling Europe just like a second world. Like it's like it's just, you know what I mean? Like,
and then there's Europe.
And then the silver, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they're doing match play tomorrow, right? At least part of the FPO is, I think. But
dude, I didn't even.
Yeah.
I don't know who's locked in for match play, to be honest with you. It's fun that we're doing something different, but I'm not seeing a lot of match play hype. It doesn't help that their last thing was canceled.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Because of Music City.
So, yeah, that's what I thought, right? Is it was supposed to happen before Music City, and then I guess the weather canceled it, and so they just moved it to Kansas City?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
How are they setting up the match play?
1v1.
Match play instead of stroke.
Yeah.
Well, it's like who performs better on each hole, and then that person goes one up or one down.
We don't know. I don't know how they picked people.
Okay, so Spencer just mentions that it's Ricky versus Paul. Do we think that match play is just going to turn Paul into a dog?
I think Paul doesn't care.
I don't think Paul. Yeah, first off, I don't think Paul gives a crap. Do we think he just turns into a dog because it's match play? Like how many? No. So how many events has Ricky beaten Paul by in the last? We were just looking at it last week, and it was crazy. It was like 17-3. You know,
Ricky's beaten Paul. Yeah. 17 out of 20 something times. 25.
The thing that made Paul so fun to watch back in the day is how much he cared. Right, he cares a lot right now, but in a bad way. Like he's getting in his own head about it.
Yeah,
Paul does not give a crap about match play.
Also, is it kind of weird that it's Scraft v Scraft? Like, should match play be a manufacturer's like competition?
But they didn't make it
also
one.
best friends now.
Yeah, they also love each other now and love to be on every card together. I mean,
I'm cool with that, by the way.
I think it's fine to just say the Paul Ricky rivalry is just dead at this point.
Yeah,
like they're just guys on tour now.
Yeah.
So is Ricky's $1 million contract, but that's okay.
Oh, how do we feel about Disc Golf Pro Tour trying to push the Gannon versus AB narrative?
Bro,
they just
want a narrative.
They put out some graphics.
Yeah, and
they asked him in an interview, and AB was like, "Yeah, I'm down, I guess." And now they're pushing the narrative that it's. I mean, I'm cool with it. I just think there has to actually be a little bit of bad blood there.
Yeah,
for
I think
it
has
really
to be bad blood.
On.
I think it just has to be like, if the next 5 tournaments in a row are just them neck and neck at the top of the leaderboard, then it makes sense. But if it's like, oh, AB had a bad week, and Gannon won, and then Gannon had a bad week, and AB got third. Like that's not a rivalry.
But is it really a rivalry if you're just going first, second, back to back, and there's no like trash talking or intensity?
I mean, was there trash talk between Paul and Ricky?
Yeah,
or
I think they didn't like each other.
Yeah,
for a while.
Taylor will tell you they apparently did not like each other. Like legitimately, they were making like snide.
I mean, I know Paul was trying to rules check Ricky on some things.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
obviously
started last year,
but it's not a. It's
AB's
not
no
same...
dog, by the way. When he's out of it, he just
I think
quits.
it's the difference between like the fans making the rivalry and the players making the rivalry.
Yeah,
right. Like I want the players to be the ones like, that's my guy. I'm going against him. I just want to beat him every week.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't really like manufacture that, I don't think.
That's why I was saying they needed to push the Gannon versus Isaac thing, because there was actually something there. Even though they're friends, there was something there.
Yeah.
And they didn't push it enough.
Or even Isaac Ezra.
What?
You know, I mean that brother.
Yeah, never mind.
Nope. You know which Ezra.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say there is something AB could do to like start this rivalry for real.
What's
and
that?
it slide into Gannon's mom's DMs.
Oh,
that's crazy. I mean,
I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying that would really
saying
get the fire
that
started.
AB's next round of merch afterwards is going to go crazy on sales.
Yeah. It just says Buhr.
Dude, bro, have AB slide into Gannon's mom's DMs, 2 Reddit posts, and we're cooking. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
2 anonymous Reddit posts, and we're good.
But I will say there is definitely no rivalry between Gannon and AB right now. I know Ryan is talking about last year it started. No, it didn't. I didn't see them on lead card going at it for multiple tournaments. So
they appeared in plenty of
right now, in my opinion.
They appeared in videos together, throwing holes and talking and having no problem with each other. Like is like the Yankee Red Sox rivalry alive when the Yankees are really good and then the Red Sox are bad and then the Red Sox are really good and the Yankees are really bad? No, it's only there if they're both good.
I don't look at a rivalry as like
so
just coincidentally 2 of the top 5 players had a few.
I actually don't know if I agree with you, Tyler, because I think the Yankees and the Red Sox still hate each other no matter how good or bad they are.
The intensity is definitely not
sure,
there.
If you're just going to
right now, them. And it hasn't been for
football,
years,
right? Alabama, Auburn.
Yeah.
Every Auburn has been a stinker for.
Yeah, but you're also talking about Southern college football.
But I'm saying that's rivalries.
That's a different sport. Yeah. That's like a different sport than sports.
But it's like a vitriol thing. It's like I don't like you, you know, and it could be for a number of reasons. But I think the players have to have something against each other. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like I actually don't like you as a person, but it can be like, you know, I've done this with people just in my local scene before. It's like I don't want to lose to you. I don't know why.
I
just don't want
every
to.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look, wait. Show of. I think everyone's in agreement here. But do you
voodoo magic on me?
Do you guys think that a rivalry has to have some kind of bad blood between the players to be a truly good rivalry? That's what we're saying. But do we all?
No, but I feel like it has to be repetitive. Like it has to have like every week they're neck and neck.
Okay.
I think you need it to start. You need that to start it, I think. But once you establish it, I don't think you need it as much because you could like blow the other person out one year and then it's like, gotcha, you suck.
Because actually, my example for football was the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know what they did to the Lions, but for some reason, there is a grudge where the Lions must destroy them.
Yeah.
I'm a Lions fan, and I don't know why I hate the Cowboys, but I do.
I can't tell you why, as a Braves fan, I despise the Nationals. But I despise the Nationals.
Yeah.
I don't like, especially when Bryce Harper's on the team, couldn't stand it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing. It happens, and then it exists. Yeah. Right? Like, you can't make it happen.
No, it has to be completely natural.
And the Pro Tour doesn't.
The one thing I wanted to bring up,
go ahead, Tyler.
I'm gonna switch up what we're talking about at the moment because I wanted to actually talk about this because I saw this happen this week. And Brody tweeted on Sunday from the Masters, not from the Masters, but talking about the Masters. If you're watching the Masters, this is why I'm not a fan of birdie or die disc golf courses. This kind of drama and pressure can only come from a demanding course. So the thing about Augusta is that their main difficulty about their course is like the greens, how they're sloped. You have to land the ball in certain areas on the green to get that closer to the pin and so forth. And there's also some high risk, high reward opportunities on the back nine. So like what does disc golf need to do to make that change to have that similar style. I personally have not thought about it enough to give a good response to like this question.
I think the thing about Augusta is that not every shot is necessarily the most demanding thing in the world, right? But you can get really risky with yourself. You know, you think of, I think it's 15, right? The classic green that's water side, and if you want to attack the pin on a hard pin location day, you're risking, you know, missing your line by 2 feet and rolling in the water, and now you're at a tiger drop zone situation, and you get called in 2 days later and lose the Masters because of it. That sort of stuff.
Right.
So I think it's risk reward more than anything.
Right.
And I think disc golf hasn't really figured out how to do risk reward yet.
Yeah.
I think we should have more holes.
Yeah.
Be like the one that everyone hates at Ivy Hill.
The rollaway one?
I think they hated a lot of holes at Ivy Hill.
The one that everyone was rolling away for no reason.
Yeah, everyone does hate that hole.
So slanted greens.
But at the same time, it's just not like, okay, if you miss your placement on a golf ball and you're slightly off the fairway, like that's a decent difference if you're in the rough versus not. But when you have guys in disc golf who can still throw like 400 standstill, it just doesn't exist in the same way. Like, so I don't know, how do you make that in the, like, I think for those times they do exist, is that just OB, or does it, what is it?
I think hazard.
Just hazard.
Well, the big thing with Augusta is you have to know how to miss greens, because if you miss a green in the wrong area, it's going to put your ball into a certain spot to where coming back to the pin is going to make it very difficult to be anywhere near that spot. So how disc golf makes that translation, I have no idea if it has to be. Okay, hold on. I don't know if it has to be on the greens per se. It needs to be like they gotta make these courses to where players have to think, okay, this is where I have to miss if I do miss, and whatever they need to do to make that happen, that's how they got to make the difficulty of some of these holes.
I think.
Go ahead, Corey.
Once you get to the green, they turn on a bunch of those giant like gym fans in a specific direction, but they already told you where the gym fans are off of the tee. But if you go too far or you land in the wrong position, the fans are going directly at you. You've got the massive headwind.
I mean, here's the thing. What you're saying conceptually makes sense. In practice, that's never happening.
So stupid.
Yeah. I think that the answer doesn't lie on the green, personally. And I think that's because disc golf has a fundamental difference in that putting is never going to be as hard as it is in golf. Even if we make every basket change, we could take every change out of the basket and it won't be as hard as it is in golf, because we don't have to deal with undulations and slope. The worst we have to deal with is wind, which is unpredictable unless you want to stick a bunch of gem fans.
What if we have a hole that is twice as I was gonna say twice as wide as a disc, but then you have to roll it on the ground. Like you have to roll.
We're just playing golf with a disc.
Well, no, you have to putt a roller like every time.
Yeah.
It still wouldn't be as hard.
I think a good example of a risk reward hole is something like that one hole at Ivy, where it was the downhill par 3, and pretty much everything up to the green was hazard. Mm-hmm. And then you had the water behind it, and there's the hay bales, right? And so you could get a little funky and attack the pin, but you're risking going long into the water, so a lot of people would end up short, but you're still getting punished by taking the extra hazard stroke.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, I think, is where the risk reward comes in, and maybe that one in particular is not the best example in the world, but you allow people to get risky, have the opportunity to have like a tap in birdie, or even like that's your landing zone. Now you're in birdie position for a par 4 or something like that. But you're still allowing them to get punished.
Yeah.
Because if that whole area is out of bounds, everyone's laying up left.
Yep. Corey's first. He's gone. Yeah, I think it has to be exactly what you're saying. There needs to be some risk reward. This is the play. But if you choose to play it safe, this is the potential penalty that could happen as well.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because golf has a much easier way of doing things because they can manipulate it with the ground, the difficulty, right? So rough artificially adds strokes. I guess not artificially, naturally adds strokes because it's a harder lie. Can't really do that in disc golf unless you want to have people throwing out of like knee-high grass. And this is where I think Corey's ideas of like maybe having areas of just standstills could be viable. Yeah. So it's an interesting challenge. I think we need to get more comfortable with putting stuff around the green, making you have to throw a disc to a certain place if you want the best chance at a birdie. Because right now it's kind of like throw your tee shot, hope it doesn't hit a tree, and put it anywhere with 40 and make your putt. And that's disc golf.
Yeah, and I think the issue with you that you say about the greens
darts than golf.
Yeah, the issue I have about the greens, like there's not a lot of examples of greens that like, or not a lot of good examples of greens that are like, hey, land on this side. Most of them at your local course are like, there's like 18 trees all over C1, right? And so it is luck. And then that puts it, then when you say, what if there's an obstructed green? Someone goes, I've seen that on my local course. It sucks. I don't want to deal with it. It's like, no, you've seen it bad on your local.
Or like, I just thought about this. Like, what if you put a basket within like 10 feet of a tree line, so it eliminates the other half of the green, and that would be like almost putting a hole on top of a hill on the other side of undulation on like ball golf. So if your ball goes over, past the hole by
there's a wall,
8 feet, that ball is gone.
And then you drive under it.
Well, this is why I never really understood the argument against the mozzarella sticks at USDGC, because I mean, you can say they look bad, right? I get it. That's a personal preference thing. But like functionally, it's good because now you're adding, hey, you can't throw over here because now you're going to have a way harder putt.
Yeah.
I've always felt the same way.
It's an aesthetic thing. Like they don't look good at all.
If the mozzarella sticks were one big like azalea bush or something, though, I don't think people would care.
Yeah, no.
Why do we call them mozzarella sticks?
I don't know. They just called it that.
I don't know.
Honestly, I think they should do the same thing, but just USDGC in like big letters. That way, say you do get behind the D and you have to putt through it. That would be so cool. Like that would be. I think that would actually be a good idea. Another thing that I thought of, which I don't know how people would feel about this, but I have a whole theory on why you would do this in the first place, is if you have a wood line, putting up like a black net that you can see through, almost like the same kind of net that you would have for like a driving range or something like that. But it would be across the entire like tree line so that you can do, I guess, placement shot greens. So you would have to go past the green to get back to the green. And if you shank it towards where the basket is, you can't get through that tree line because of the netting. I don't know if that makes sense.
I guess, why are there trees? Why not just have a net for aesthetics?
Why are trees?
Well, because the trees.
Okay, but like functionally, it's just like having a net.
Yes.
Okay.
But also, if you have it for the tree line. So the other idea I have with this net is getting spectators in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can line both sides of the fairway with netting, it would still create the woodsy aspect of it. But then there would be a spot for the spectators to be behind the net, safe from like getting hit by a disc ricocheting, but it's still like literally in the woods.
Yeah. That's true, Mike. He said, why not just do a Mando? I guess the safety thing.
For the Mando netting, I think that the Mando doesn't stop everything, but the netting does. And he's also saying netting in the woods, you never get a lucky shot. Right? You never get a shot that sneaks through the stuff on the left side. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also the third thing would be use the netting, but you could actually have a like a 2-tier spectator area to where they're almost walking on like a bridge style thing for like a gallery.
Yeah.
And it's still blocked by that net because it's high enough.
Spectators in disc golf are a tough issue.
I just fixed it.
Oh, never mind. It's an easy issue.
Yeah, it's probably the easiest thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not going to discredit it. I think a lot of people would complain about it for looking stupid.
Well, they're going to complain about everything.
Exactly.
I mean, you complain about trees in a wooded course, so.
Well, you keep 1 million of them in the middle of the fairway. It's not exactly a disc golf hole.
You can find gaps, man.
You tell me to throw this line. You tell me to throw this line around a corner, and then there's a bunch of trees in the line. Trees. You're so right, dude.
You always talk about you want to make disc golf harder. It's not as easy as, or it's not as hard as golf.
You have to make it harder in the right way.
Yeah, in the right. Yeah, I do actually.
I agree with that take 100% too.
But I know which trees he's talking crap about, and it's not an issue.
Because if you have to randomly get lucky to get through on a line, that's not skill based. That's a luck.
Yeah, but if it's around a corner,
not,
and you walk up to the corner and you can see the line, but you just happen to not hit it because you hit a tree. Like there's still lines where we're talking about.
Well,
there's lines everywhere if there's a bunch of trees in the fairway, but I mean, still, like there needs to be like a defined.
If you're gonna, I'm fine with you having a very demanding tee shot as your preferred shot. That's fine. But if you're gonna have a very demanding tee shot, you need to have it be a fairway, and you need to take the gimmick out of it. Like it doesn't make sense to have this big blind turnover with like a touchy fairway driver. Corey knows exactly what hole I'm talking about. And then have one tree plastered directly in the middle of the gap 250 feet down the fairway. It doesn't make sense.
I don't.
Why are you doing
that? I don't
know
what you're talking about.
Well, it's because you don't hit the gap every time.
Bro, that's a typical example.
Corey,
I think this hole is good.
Hold on.
I know
are you talking about
13 at Kensington? Yeah. I have this running joke with Nadia about Corey that he just says the most wild things about his own disc golf game. His thing about being 90% from 300. I'm like,
I was very close. I was very close.
You called me and said your arm was shot after 20 putters.
No, I found out why that was.
That's awesome.
It was just that day.
Going back to the putting green stuff real quick, I wanted to say one thing that I really like that's done on disc golf courses, I think should be done more often, is you have like a steep sloped hill and you have the basket in the middle of the hill, but instead, now the hill has to have like a top on it, right? So it has to flatten out the top. And instead of just putting it in the middle and like having it normal height, so you have to putt up or down at it, elevate it so that if you're at the bottom of the hill, it's a really high putt. But if you get to the top of the hill, you have a normal flat
with
putt.
Danger.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a death putt, but you're rewarded with a with a normal putt instead of a 10-foot elevation putt.
Yeah.
I think stuff like that could be done a lot more often. It doesn't have to be super drastic.
What about
but
that
like you have a little
hole
dip.
you were talking about? After we played Bald Mountain, you were talking about there was like a hazard hole or something where the basket was like in the hole or like it was something really dumb.
Oh, at talking about the thing at College Nationals?
I think so.
Yeah, they had this hole on Winthrop Meadows, which is you remember USCGC hole? It's like the tunnel shot with the two double Mandos.
Mm-hmm.
It's over in that area. But they had a hole where you're literally throwing through a gap this big. I'm not lying. It's this big right in front of you. And it's 2 feet off the tee. Or you can just throw this weird little sawed off hyzer skip. and the basket is in the ground. It's like it's in the actual ground, and so your intended play is literally throw a forehand roller through a gap this big, 2 feet in front of you, and hope you make it. I don't know. Like, so everyone was just standing on the back of the tee pad and throwing hyzers and trying to make a 40-foot putt to a basket in the ground, and it was one of the silliest things I've ever seen.
I like it. I think it should be a Mando roller putt. Like bowling.
You would. That's all I have to say. You would.
Let's do our picks right now before we get too late and we forget about it. So the order. So here we go. Just to refresh. Corey's got 3 points. Matt's got 4 points. I've got 5, and Taylor's got 6. So the order will go Corey, Matt, Tyler, Taylor.
Okay. So remind me how this works.
Of course.
So
Kansas City,
we're picking winners, but also we get points for podium, and also we do a dark horse at the end. And Mac, you'll get the first dark horse pick. It has to be top 40 or more, or outside the top 40.
Yeah.
For the world rankings, which I.
What did you say that order was again, Tyler? I was trying to pull up.
I have no idea. Corey, Matt, me, Mac.
Corey.
Let me see.
Corey, are you going to start us off here?
Yeah, I'm looking at the. Give me Tony Barela.
Got it.
Yep.
Tyler, can you write this down? Mine is bugging out.
Yep, I'm doing it right now.
Thank you. Give me the Buhr.
Apparently I don't have permissions. So hold on, I'll write this down. Like hold on. Let me write it down on my phone in my own spreadsheet. Hold on. Taylor has gone power hungry on us.
Bro's limiting
Doesn't let anyone else have
permissions
permission. Kansas City open.
Crazy.
All right, so Corey
Tony
took
Barela.
AB. Matt, who'd you take?
I took
Matt, who'd you pick?
Matt, who are you taking?
Gannon.
Does Scott have a question?
Who's Scott tonight? Where the frick did he go, man? It's sad.
Yeah, where is Scott? All right, so who'd you say? I'm sorry, Matt. I was dealing with something. Go ahead. Who'd you say?
Buhr. Gannon Buhr.
Okay, Gannon. Got it. I am trying to think. You know what? Why not?
Dude,
Calvin. I'll take Calvin.
So burned off Calvin. The question is, do I go
probably
totally off strips for Taylor?
Or do you try and be reasonable?
I mean, you gotta try.
Well, they're going to be reasonable picks,
try to
but
be
I don't think they're
reasonable.
picks Taylor would ever make. You guys tell me for the integrity of the game.
For the integrity of the game, attempt to
Try.
not be Taylor, be yourself, but the best possible picks you can make. Will be nice to Taylor.
Pick who you think's going to win.
I like Ezra Robinson, but he did just put up an absolute stinker at Eagles Crossing.
Good night, that boy put up a stinker.
I am gonna go Mr. Kyle Klein. I feel like he's traditionally, I think he's pretty good here, actually.
And you get now we snake back, so now you get the next pick. Yeah, so now you get the next pick.
So I'm getting 3 of anyone.
No, you're just getting 1 more right now of anyone.
But like total, it's 3
of
anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Mr. Richard Wysocki.
Okay, Rick.
Is it you, Tyler, or me?
It is, but I mean, is everyone at this event?
I mean,
most people are. Yes.
Most people are, yeah.
Well, most people ain't gonna help me. All right, hold on. All right, I'll go Paul Macbeth.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. He's going Paul Macbeth.
All right, listen. I gotta go. Seriously, I'll be right back. Like, you guys have to figure it out. Hold on. Seriously.
Okay. And just like that, Tyler is gone. I am going to take.
Tyler picks Jake Wolf.
And Tyler picks Jake Wolf. Give me. Good night. Why are some of these people? I think Niklas is here. Give me Niklas. Bro's been doing well.
Is Niklas here?
Wait, it's a good question. Nothing will load on my computer while I'm running the stream.
I don't see Niklas.
Oh my gosh, nice catch. You could have been mean and just let me.
Well, you guys told me to have integrity.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Just for your picks.
Just for your picks.
No,
Dude, no one here am I really cooking with. Give me I don't know. Give me Austin Turner, man. I'm gonna go Austin Turner. Kind of a weird one.
Interesting. Trusting the Turner pick, huh?
I like to pick people that break my heart, and then one time per year they do me really right.
Did you pick him last week?
No.
Okay.
So the one time that he.
But last year he got me a couple points. He got me a decent, he got he got me points last year. Not great points, but he got me points.
All right, so I get 2.
Corey gets 2
normals. Here. Okay. Let me go Chris Dickerson.
Okay.
And Andrew Marweed.
Andrew Marweed. Okay.
Yeah. No reason.
Fair enough.
Like story, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna go. We're going Simon Lizotte. Tyler is just he's just gonna get whatever's left over, which is fine. It is what it is. So it is back to you, Mac.
Who's picking Anthony Bedanza is the question.
Oh, is he on it?
Yeah, he's playing
there.
this weekend. That's an easy dark horse to swing sometimes.
I know who I want to pick, but it's just such a volatile pick.
Okay.
He's either like a.
Who do you have right now?
Kyle Klein, Ricky.
So you're safe. Go for a wild card.
Matteo.
Okay,
that is exactly what Taylor would do.
That is a wild card. Okay, and then you pick your dark horse now.
Dark horse. So it just has to be outside the top 30?
Top 40.
Top 40. Ooh, I'm seeing one name that's kind of speaking to me a little bit.
Oh no, he's being spoke to.
I'm being spoken to.
Who are you being spoke to by?
Give me a dark horse, Connor Rock.
Connor Rock. Whoa. All right.
I feel like this course.
How far down is he?
He is 1022 rated. This is a definitional dark horse pick, but I feel like this course plays pretty well to people that throw far, and Connor Rock throws very far.
86.
And if he has a good weekend in the woods, could be deadly.
True.
I think it's back to me for my dark horse now.
Yep.
I'm going to take the guy who popped the top 10 last weekend. I'm going to take Silas Schultz. Also throws pretty far, and warmed up a little bit. So I'm kind of happy with it. Corey, who is your dark horse?
Is it me or is it Tyler?
We skip Tyler. Tyler gets the leftovers. He gets the scraps tonight.
Okay. Well, how do you want to do this?
What do you mean?
How do we pick his scraps?
No, we'll let him pick his last 2 later. Whatever's left over.
All right. I'm gonna go Alden Harris.
Okay.
Where's he at right now?
47 right now.
Oh, he's close. I don't know why I thought he was in the top chunk there. Okay.
Alden is such an enigma of a player.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He
there
really
he
is. Okay.
What'd you end up doing? My bad.
So we're gonna let you pick up the scraps. here.
Just meaning we finished. We finished just now.
Just literally, just a second before you got here. So you can pick every remaining player that you want. And if you look in the Discord right now, most of that is updated with who picked what. Other than I missed, I think, whoever's first pick on most things.
Also, I don't know why there's a space.
I was doing it on my phone, and I did it in a bad way.
So Mac took Matteo, Corey took Marweed, and you took Austin Turner and Simon.
Yeah.
So I get one more and a 40.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where is... I'll go with Isaac Robinson.
Okay.
And my 40 outside the top 40. Let me just make sure. Silas. Corey, who'd you take? Alden. Connor Rock.
Yeah.
Let me just check to make sure he's in this.
But Danza is in there.
Yeah, you could take.
I'll take Ty Love for my 40.
Tyler loves Ty Love pick.
Ty Love over Bedanza, dude. Put some respect on his name.
All right, so hold on. Let me see if I can fill in some of this for us here. So I picked Calvin. I picked Paul. And I picked Isaac. And Dark Horse was Ty Love.
Yep.
All right. At least we have everyone.
Everyone's written down. So
at least what you guys had picked, though.
Yeah, we can figure out we can write it all up later.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
There's our picks.
Deed is done.
Good night. We have some diverse picks this week, but we live with it.
That's the best part of disc golf right now is we just don't know who's going to do what right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the whole boring. Let's pick the same 5 people every time. So,
yeah,
bro. You guys remember at the beginning of 2024 season we said, "Bro, disc golf's crazy competitive. You gotta be on that weekend," and then Gannon just won everything.
Swept.
Yeah. Well, we didn't realize Gannon was going to go on a massive heater.
Yeah, he's also not doing the same thing this year, so
yeah,
not yet.
It kind of was a freak.
This year has actually been kind of crazy on the winners.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. It was such a heavy talking point everywhere, and then just between Gannon and AB, they took most of the W's last season.
What if we do? I don't know if we want to do this. Obviously not now, but we'd have to figure out how to do this. What if we couldn't do anybody in the top 4? So it has to be more of the highest points, not who wins kind of thing.
What if you can't pick anyone over 1,000 rated?
Well, then we're going to do a Dark Horse.
Well, I've thought about doing Survivor type style. So if you pick someone and they win, you can't use them the rest of the year.
The rest of the year.
Yeah. Oh. So okay. But they have to either finish. So here's the thing. They either have to win or get in the podium. Now you have a choice where if they get on the podium, do you want to take them for podium points or do you want to pass? So that because maybe you could take them as a winner down the road.
Yeah.
But it would be everyone can pick anyone.
Yeah.
And so then we just start chopping that down so that we'd only be limited to who we can pick the rest of the year.
My thought was if we remove the top 4 changes. So it would be maybe you can grab someone that you think isn't going to be in the top 4, but next time they could be gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to Taylor about that.
Yeah, we'll speak to Taylor and see what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys. if you're going out to play disc golf and it's finally warm out and you can finally play, or you're just sucking it up and playing anyways, and you need some new plastic, consider going to foundationdiscgolf.com, using our affiliate code, grabbing some discs there. Check out our Discord. We're doing weekly challenges. We're halfway through a weekly challenge right now. Playing the hardest course in your area, full 18 holes on UDisc with stats so that we can talk about it. It's provided some interesting results so far. So join our Discord for that. And watch us live every week, 8:30 Wednesday nights EST. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.